Bruh, I ain't never seen somebody sabotage themselves this bad. Diddy out here recording his own lawyer.
Hey, bro, come on now, dog. Come on, man.
Yeah, you heard me. The man secretly filmed the dude who was literally trying to keep him out of prison. And the wild part, that footage leaked. It's out. 50 Cent got his hands on it. Lawyers mad, licenses on the line. The whole legal team looking like they just walked into a trap Diddy set up himself. I'm talking confidential conversations, illegal suggestions, strategy calls, all caught on camera because Diddy thought he was filming his legacy documentary.
Are you stupid or something?
Bro was trying to make Surviving the Downfall and ended up filming How to Destroy Your Own Defense 101. And listen, I know some of y'all been commenting like, Panda, why you not showing full footage like before? Let me make this clear. These sensitive topics, this is the type of stuff that demonetizes whole channels, gets videos removed, gets creators shadow banned. It ain't because I don't want to show it, it's because YouTube don't play with this kind of content. So I gotta break it down for y'all safely, but with the same heat. Now buckle up, because this story right here exposes something way darker than lawsuits. This is about trust, betrayal, and Diddy becoming the biggest threat to himself. Bruh, this whole situation starts with something so stupid, so reckless, so self-destructive that I had to replay it twice just to make sure it was real. Diddy, a man facing the biggest legal fight of his entire life, actually sat there and recorded a confidential call with his own lawyer, Marc Agnifilo.
Why?
Who does that? Who looks at a criminal investigation and says, yeah, let me turn the cameras on real quick? This ain't like he forgot the camera was rolling. Nah, he set it up, positioned it, hit the red button like he was filming a behind-the-scenes clip for a documentary he thought would clear his name. Bro thought he was building a heroic comeback movie, when in reality, he was creating a damn evidence archive. And here's where the stupidity hits expert level. That footage, that sensitive, confidential, career-ending footage, somehow slips out of Diddy's hands and drops straight into the lap of 50 Cent.
How? Hold on, bro.
The pettiest, most strategic, most motivated enemy he could possibly hand it to. That's not a leak. That's destiny with a sense of humor. 50 gets a hold of it, and instead of keeping it quiet or using it later, he goes straight to the internet like,
today your ass is gonna die, bitch. Say goodnight, motherfucker.
y'all look what I got. And boom, whole legal world on fire. Lawyers shocked, fans confused, prosecutors smiling. The little that leaked, it's enough to tell you that Diddy didn't just make a mistake. He detonated a bomb under his own legal team, filmed it, and handed the footage to his biggest rival. Man basically speed ran his own downfall on camera. Now look, when this footage hit the internet, the first person to damn near collapse wasn't Diddy. It was Marc Agnifilo, the lawyer in the video. This man saw that clip and probably aged 5 years and 5 seconds, because being recorded without consent during a confidential legal strategy call, that's not just disrespect, that's career homicide. Lawyers survive on trust, on privacy, on knowing their conversations will never see daylight. When a client secretly records you, that's the legal equivalent of finding out your best friend installed cameras in your house. It's violation on violation. Mark's entire reputation revolves around professionalism. And suddenly he's online trending next to Diddy with people dissecting his tone, his words, his advice, his ethics. And none of this had to happen. None of this was necessary.
Me personally, I wouldn't take this level of disrespect.
The moment the footage leaked, Mark Garagos, another legal heavyweight, said straight up that Agnifilo is furious. And honestly, he should be, because this leak don't just make him look unprofessional, it puts his license on the line. Lawyers don't fear backlash, they fear the Bar Association. And this kind of leak, this is the stuff that triggers investigations, reviews, sanctions, all kinds of hell. And here's the part that destroys everything. How does a lawyer continue defending a client who secretly recorded him during a crisis? How do you build a defense with zero trust?
How, Sway?
How do you go to court together after your client sabotaged your entire career? Let's keep it real. He might quit. Actually, he probably should quit. Because staying tied to Diddy right now is like holding on to a rope that's actively on fire. If Agnifilo walks away, that's a massive dent in Diddy's defense strategy. You can't replace a top-tier federal lawyer overnight. You can't rebuild trust when the betrayal was literally filmed. Diddy didn't even get taken down by the court. He took down his own lawyer like it was a side quest. And that's the moment everybody realized Diddy isn't fighting the system. He's fighting himself.
Ladies and gentlemen, we got him.
This is where things go from messy to, oh yeah, somebody's definitely losing their job behind this. Because that leak clip, that little piece 50 Cent decided to blast all over the internet, it allegedly shows Marc Agnifilo giving Diddy advice that could straight up be interpreted as illegal. I'm talking about suggesting they countersue the accuser in a way that looks a whole lot like encouraging a false report. Bruh, that's not just bad optics. That's criminal exposure. That's the type of conversation that should never exist on video. And yet, here we are, because Diddy wanted cinematic angles. Lawyers know the line. They know what you can say, what you cannot say, what needs to stay between the walls of a damn office. But when the client tells you he's recording, you keep it clean. You watch your words. You protect yourself. But Mark didn't know. He was talking freely, confidently, like he was on a private call, which he should have been. And this is why the footage is so dangerous. If the Bar Association looks at that clip and decides Mark crossed ethical boundaries, it's over. You can't talk your way out of being caught on camera giving advice that even sounds like manipulation or retaliation. Even if he didn't mean it that way. Even if the clip is taken out of context. Even if the full conversation would clear it up. It doesn't matter. The internet saw it. TMZ saw it. Prosecutors saw it. Judges saw it. Lawyers saw it. And public opinion spreads faster than the truth ever will. And let's keep it real. The prosecution is probably in the back room popping sparkling water over this. You think they don't love seeing the defense team fall apart? You think they're not screenshotting every frame of that clip? You think they're not circling keywords like it's a college study group? This is ammo for them. Pure ammo. And again, and I will keep repeating this because it's the wildest part of the entire story, the only reason this evidence exists is because Diddy recorded it. Not hackers, not insiders, not enemies, Diddy himself.
You're showing me how unserious you are.
With his own camera, on purpose. This man didn't just snitch on himself. He packaged it in 4K and let 50 Cent do distribution. This is the moment everybody realized the downfall isn't happening to Diddy. It's happening from Diddy. Now let's talk about 50 Cent. Because this man didn't just leak something. He executed a precision strike. People think 50 just trolls online. Nah, 50 is a strategist. Everything he posts, everything he deletes, everything he hints at is intentional, calculated, timed. He didn't drop the full footage. He didn't need to. He dropped the one clip that had the most explosive legal consequences. The one moment where Marc Agnifilo says something that could jeopardize his entire career. The exact piece of audio that fractures the relationship between Diddy and his defense team. That's not petty. That's chess. High-level chess. 50 Cent sat there like, what clip will cause the most chaos, the most panic, the most distrust? And then he pressed upload with the confidence of a man who's been waiting years for this moment. Years. Because 50 watched the industry protect Diddy for decades. He watched the power, the money, the connections, the intimidation, the rumors, the silence. And now that the walls are finally collapsing, bro is playing Demolition Crew. And the timing is masterful. He didn't drop this months ago. Not even weeks ago. He dropped it right when Diddy is preparing for sentencing, the moment where the legal team must be unified, airtight, perfectly coordinated. But nah, 50 said, let me go ahead and throw a grenade into the group chat real quick. This ain't random beef. This ain't petty marketing. This is 50 systematically stripping away Diddy's armor piece by piece until the man is standing alone with no legal protection, no public support, and no plausible narrative left to hide behind. The prosecutors loved it. The internet loved it. And Diddy, bruh's probably pacing in his cell like, why does this man hate me so much? Because 50 didn't expose Diddy for clicks. He exposed him for closure.
Gotcha. Gotcha.
And here's where this whole thing turns from scandal to psychological horror. Because the second that footage leaked, everybody realized something deeper, something way more dangerous. Diddy don't trust nobody, not even the people hired to save his life. Think about that. Your legal team is the last group of humans you should ever keep secrets from. They're the ones who negotiate your deals, fight your charges, pull strings behind the scenes, and argue for your freedom. But instead of trusting them, Diddy secretly recorded them like they were enemies, not allies. That's not strategy. That's paranoia. That's not leadership. That's narcissism. That's not caution. That's a lack of loyalty so deep it's practically spiritual rot. And when that kind of betrayal hits a legal team, it shatters the foundation. It breaks every relationship. You can't put that back together. A lawyer can lose his case, lose emotion, lose an argument, and still fight for you. But once you record him behind his back, that's personal. That's irreversible. You could see it in the attorney reactions, the disappointment, the anger, the confusion. These men risk their reputations defending someone drowning in allegations, and he repays them by documenting every slip-up, every comment, every vulnerable moment. Bruh turned his defense team into an unpaid documentary cast. And let's not pretend this is new behavior. Diddy has a pattern of turning on the people closest to him the second they're no longer useful. Bodyguards, artists, executives, assistants. There's a long list of people who got too close and ended up burned. So when lawyers saw that footage, when they realized he was filming them too, that he might have filmed all of them, yeah, that was the moment they stepped back and said, hold on, we're not defending a client anymore. We're dealing with the man who doesn't understand consequences. This wasn't a PR mistake. This wasn't a leak. This was self-destruction, done in HD with perfect lighting. Diddy didn't get betrayed by his team. He betrayed them and then blamed the world for watching it happen. And here's the part that really shows you where Diddy's mind was at. Bro wasn't recording these calls because he needed evidence. He wasn't documenting his innocence. He wasn't protecting himself. He was filming a documentary, a hero documentary, a comeback story. He actually believed he was going to beat all these cases, walk out clean, and then drop a Netflix-style masterpiece called The Truth About Sean Combs, where he looks like the misunderstood genius who rose above the lies. That's why the cameras were rolling during meetings, during calls, during strategy sessions. He wanted every moment captured so he could edit it later into a redemption arc. Except none of this looks redemptive. It looks insane. Imagine being so out of touch that you think filming your legal team during privileged conversations will somehow prove you're innocent. Bro thought he was directing a movie instead of fighting for his freedom. The ego is next level. The delusion is Olympic. The lack of self-awareness is spiritual. And you can see it in the footage. He's not hiding the camera. He's not whispering, not using the tag. He's not discreet. He's casually recording the man defending him like it's normal, like it's something every celebrity does. Meanwhile, his lawyers are out here trying to prevent him from going to prison until 2050. And he's thinking, this angle will look fire when the documentary drops. It's wild because Diddy didn't just underestimate the charges. He overestimated himself. He thought he was untouchable, too big to fall, too powerful to lose. He thought the public would eventually say Diddy was right all along. So he documented everything, every meltdown, every call, every questionable conversation. And because of that ego-driven documentary, because of that fantasy world he built in his mind, he ended up filming his own downfall. Not a comeback story, not a hero arc, a full blueprint of every mistake, every miscalculation, every illegal sounding conversation, all preserved on camera like a digital confession booth. Bro wasn't making a documentary, he was filming evidence. And once that footage leaked, oh man, the ripple effect inside Diddy's legal team was instant. Immediate panic, immediate doubt, immediate fear. Because now every lawyer is sitting there like, hold up, if he recorded that call, what else did he record? That's the part nobody's talking about, the unknown. It's not just the clip 50 posted. It's the possibility that Diddy has hours of footage, days worth of conversations, maybe even recordings in rooms they didn't know were wired. Imagine being a high-profile attorney. You gave strategic advice, emotional reactions, off-the-record discussions, private frustrations, all the messy human stuff lawyers never want clients to capture. And suddenly you realize all of that might be sitting on a hard drive somewhere. The trust? Gone. The unity? Gone. The confidence? Vaporized. The entire defense team is now operating under paranoia. What did he keep? What did he delete? Who else has copies? If 50 got one clip, how many more exist? And you know what happens when a legal team loses trust? Strategy collapses. Completely. When lawyers no longer feel safe speaking freely, they can't build a defense. They can't brainstorm. They can't disagree. They can't protect their client. Every word becomes a potential landmine. So now you've got attorneys texting instead of talking, meeting less, asking for written confirmations, pulling back, holding things in, watching their own client like he's a threat instead of the person they're defending. It becomes survival mode, not strategy mode. And once a legal team hits survival mode, it's over. This isn't Diddy versus the system anymore. It's Diddy versus his own defense squad. And lawyers hate uncertainty. They hate unpredictability. They hate clients who create new problems while they're trying to solve the existing ones. Now they have two cases to fight. The case in court and the case of, did my client just record me saying something that'll ruin my career? Meanwhile, prosecutors sitting back like, oh, the defense is imploding? Cool. Less work for us. The leak didn't just reveal one conversation. It revealed a fractured team, broken morale, and a client no one feels safe around. And once your legal team stops trusting you, you're cooked. And now we get to the part that really shows how bad this is. Because this one leak doesn't just embarrass Diddy today, it destroys his entire legal future. Like, this ain't just a bad week. This ain't a PR crisis. This is the kind of mistake that follows you in the court, sticks to your name, and sits in the back of the judge's mind like a little devil whispering, he's reckless, Your Honor. When a defendant leaks, even accidentally, a private conversation with counsel that suggests shady strategy, prosecutors don't need to do anything extra. They just sit back like, oh, thank you. He's doing our job for us. Because now, Diddy walks into sentencing looking chaotic, looking untrustworthy, looking like a man who can't keep his own defense team together. And judges hate chaos. Judges want order, stability, cooperation, professionalism. They want to see a unified defense team presenting a clear plan. But now, Diddy's lawyer is enraged, the team is fractured, and the prosecution gets to say, Your Honor, the defendant is unstable, difficult to manage, and has a pattern of sabotaging proceedings. That hurts sentencing, Big time. Plus, once the legal team is shaken, everything gets weaker. Negotiations become sloppy. Appeal strategies lose structure. Deadlines get messy. Communication breaks down. Nobody trusts anybody. It's like trying to walk into court with a cast on every limb. And let's not forget, judges absolutely look at public behavior. They watch media. They read filings. They pay attention when a defendant becomes unpredictable. So now Diddy isn't just accused of crimes. He's the guy who secretly recorded his lawyer and leaked the footage during trial season. That is not the reputation you want when you're begging for leniency. Then you got prosecutors using this as ammo. Your Honor, the defendant's actions show disregard for legal procedure. They compromise the integrity of his own defense. Translation, he's dangerous and sloppy.
You are dumb, unattractive, overweight, unworthy, untalented.
And the worst part, the really ugly part, this wasn't sabotage from an enemy. This wasn't a hacker. This wasn't a whistleblower. It was Diddy's camera, Diddy's footage, Diddy's ego, Diddy's obsession with controlling the narrative. He literally handed the prosecution a gift-wrapped advantage and said, "Here, ruin my future with this." Every mistake he makes from here on, amplified. Every misstep, magnified. Every legal weakness, exposed for the world and the courtroom. He didn't lose control of the narrative. He lost control of his entire defense. And this is the part where everything finally clicks. Because when you zoom out and look at Diddy's behavior, the recording, the secrecy, the delusion, the paranoia, you realize this ain't a one-time mistake. This is a pattern, a mindset, a worldview. Diddy has always been his own worst enemy. Always. This man built an entire empire off control. Controlling narratives, controlling artists, controlling environments, controlling who gets close to him. But that same obsession with control is the same thing destroying him right now. Think about it. He didn't record his lawyer to protect himself. He recorded him because he didn't trust him. He didn't film a documentary to tell the truth. He filmed it because he wanted to shape the truth. He didn't leak chaos accidentally. He created chaos because he always believed he could fix it later. That's narcissism mixed with paranoia, mixed with delusion. A dangerous cocktail that blinds you to consequences. And now we're watching the effects in real time. And the saddest part, he doesn't see himself as the problem. In Diddy's mind, the betrayal isn't recording the lawyer. It's the lawyer being mad about it. The mistake isn't the leak. It's people reacting to it. The downfall isn't his actions. It's the world misunderstanding him. Bro is living in a mental universe where he's the hero, the genius, the misunderstood icon. Meanwhile, the real world is like, "Sir, you just filmed evidence against yourself and your legal team." This is why everything keeps collapsing around him. This is why people keep leaving. This is why nothing is stable. It's not sabotage. It's not enemies. It's not conspiracies. It's Diddy, creating the storm, then drowning in the water he spilled himself.
Stupid.
Man, let me be real with y'all. This ain't even a legal downfall anymore. This is psychological. This is a man who thought he was smarter than the system, smarter than the lawyers, smarter than the internet, smarter than everyone. But here he is, tripping over his own ego every single step. You can't beat a case when you're out here filming felony-level conversations like their YouTube vlogs. You can't build trust when you treat your own team like suspects. You can't ask for mercy when your whole defense looks like a circus you created. Diddy didn't fall off. He walked off with the camera rolling. And that's the craziest part. He really thought all this footage would one day make him look strong, redeemed, victorious. But instead, it made him look reckless, paranoid, and low-key dangerous. This ain't the system destroying him. It's Diddy pressing record. Look, when you reach a point where your own lawyer don't trust you, where your own footage is being used against you, where your own decisions blow up your defense, that's not just downfall. That's a warning. Ego will make you blind. Paranoia will make you sloppy. And pride will bury you faster than any enemy ever could. So take this as a lesson. Don't ever get so high up in your head that you forget the ground is still there waiting for you. Everybody falls, but not everybody films it like a documentary. Yo, let me know what y'all think. Was this betrayal? Was this stupidity? Was this karma? And if you like this breakdown, watch the video that's on your screen right now, because it ties directly into everything we talked about today. I'll see you on the next one. Panda out.